Scene Mom says, welcome to the new podcast from former Phoenix radio host Danny Cutler. Each week bringing you independent music, industry news, the occasional interview, and other fun segments. Let's get to it. Scene Mom says hello and welcome to episode number 61. I'm Danny Cutler, aka Scene Mom, and I'm so happy that you joined me. I hope everybody had a good week. It's been a rough one, politically speaking. I'm not going to go on a tirade. You all know where I stand politically, but my thoughts are definitely with the people of Los Angeles, and may they continue to stand up against injustice. This weekend, many protests are scheduled, and I do hope that everybody stays safe. And please don't be provoked into violent behavior because that's what they want. I will not be protesting on Saturday. I have a drive down to Sturbridge, which I talked about last week, to be a judge in the annual singer-songwriter competition. And I'm excited. It's going to be nice. I definitely need the break from the political world. I've really been following it closely, and my brain is kind of mush now. I'm just excited to go and hear some music, see many people who are now my friends, and meet even more musicians. Last year, this was kind of my kickoff to meeting people in the music scene, so I kind of like it. It's become a special thing very quickly. So whether I judge or not, it's going to be something that I attend every year. Last weekend was pretty fun too. Our town celebrated the annual Founders Day, and unfortunately it was almost a complete washout. We had major rain at the beginning of the afternoon. I mean, cats and dogs raining. It was just a downpour. Later on in the day, though, it started to lessen and people came out to enjoy the festivities at our community park and amphitheater, which is a gorgeous place, by the way. If you ever come visit, I will take you there. The amphitheater is right there on the lake with high quality sound, and there's many hiking paths around the lake. For my Phoenix fans, it gives me big Apache Lake vibes. Maybe we can bring Apache Lake Music Festival back and just do it here. Yeah. I mean, it's a bigger expense, but it's worth it. I promise you. All right. Well, we have a good show for you this week. I've got, of course, your music news, history. I'm wrapping up the marketing tips on how to prepare to announce an event. And I have some pretty cool happy news for you as well. And of course, music. June, as you know, is Pride Month, and this episode I am going to feature LGBTQ artists that you should definitely get to know. I've played pretty much all of them before. Right now, though, this first one is Phoenix band Daphne and the Glitches, and I love the play on words with this song. It is called Outgoing Mail, and you're listening to What Scene Mom Says.
Welcome. You've got mail. Are you with me? I hope so. Goodbye.
Again, that was Phoenix band Daphne and the Glitches with Outgoing Mail. It is time for some music news. Independent songwriters and composers are getting more and more frustrated with major record labels' private negotiations with tech companies regarding generative AI or Gen AI systems and copyright infringement liability. The negotiations are happening behind closed doors, and so they're leaving out independent music creators. The big concern is that any deals that are struck without their input could severely and negatively impact their artistic careers and their financial well-being. In response, organizations like the Songwriters Guild of America, the Society of Composers and Lyricists, and Music Creators North America have collectively issued a statement. They're demanding an open legislative dialogue on this issue. The goal is to ensure that fair licensing guidelines are established, that music creators have a voice in these discussions, and that they are protected from being excluded from the AI licensing marketplace. Independent musicians want and deserve a seat at the table to safeguard their future in this very quickly changing music landscape that is being taken over by artificial intelligence more and more. And in other news, unfortunately, there have been more accusations of sexual misconduct made against an artist. A few weeks ago, I covered charges brought against Smokey Robinson, and now we have actor and musician Jared Leto. According to a report by Airmail, 9 different women have come forward with allegations against him, with incidents reporting back to 2006. These accusations detailed in the report include claims of inappropriate text message exchanges with underage girls. Additionally, some women allege incidents where Leto exposed himself. In response, a representative for Jared Leto issued a statement to Airmail denying all of the accusations made against him. All right, moving on to some more positive news. Violinist Ellie Wilson has composed a unique musical piece titled Moth and Human, which transforms real moth flight data into a sonic experience. Collaborating with the UK Centre for Ecology and Hydrology, Wilson used the data collected from a biodiversity monitoring station. She assigned distinct sounds to various moth species, which are activated when the moths land on the CEH's specialized monitor. The composition illustrates the impact of habitat loss on the UK's moth populations. It begins with a rich and euphoric soundscape reflecting a healthy, diverse moth community. However, the piece then transitions to a more sparse and poignant section which corresponds to data from a farmland monoculture, revealing a decline in the moth species. Now, though this innovative blend of science and music, Wilson aims to raise awareness about the insect decline and its broader ecological implications. So nobody thinks about moths in the whole biosphere. They think about butterflies and pollination, but moths do the same thing. They just do it at night. You usually see them at night, but it's the same thing. So that's really interesting. I haven't looked it up yet, but I'm going to look up that piece because I'm really curious about it. So that is your music news this week. And if you have any feedback or other thoughts, you can send an email my way, scenemomsays@gmail.com. That was Boston band Happy Little Clouds with their latest single, Clear and Present Danger. They have a new album coming out on July 19th called Embers, and they are celebrating with the show on the same day. Scene Mom says it is time for some music history. On June 9th in 1972, Elvis Presley made history by selling out 4 consecutive nights at Madison Square Garden in New York City. It marked his first performances in New York in over a decade and drew an array of stars, including John Lennon and George Harrison. The highly anticipated shows were recorded and quickly released as the live album Elvis, as recorded at Madison Square Garden. On June 9th in 1963, during a session for his album Another Side of Bob Dylan, Dylan recorded the iconic track Mr. Tambourine Man. While Dylan's version is beloved, the Byrds later covered it as their debut single, taking it to number 1 in both the US and UK, and it became hugely influential in initiating the folk rock genre. On June 9th in 1915, the day marks the birth of Les Paul, the legendary American jazz and country guitarist, songwriter, and inventor. Paul was a true pioneer in the development of the solid body electric guitar, multi-track recording, and numerous other recording innovations that revolutionized modern music. His contributions are fundamental to the sound of rock and roll and countless other genres. On June 10th in 2004, the world lost a true musical giant when Ray Charles passed away at the age of 73. A pivotal figure in the development of soul music, Charles seamlessly blended rhythm and blues, gospel, and blues. He was one of the inaugural inductees into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and remains one of the most well-known musicians of all time. And on June 15th in 1989, before their global breakthrough, Nirvana released their raw and powerful debut album Bleach on Sub Pop Records. While it initially sold modestly, Bleach laid the groundwork for their sound and garnered critical acclaim. After the massive success of Nevermind in 1991, Bleach returned to the charts. It proved lasting impact and eventual platinum certification. And that is some music history for you this week.
No
from Brattleboro, Vermont. That was Thus Love with their latest single, Get Stable. It is off their album, All Pleasure, and it was a pleasure to find them. All links to the music and news this week will, of course, be in the show notes. Scene Mom Says it's time for your marketing tip of the week. This is part 6 and the final part of my series on announcing an event. I have been covering all the things that you need to have set up before you announce your event to make things go much smoother after you announce it. Last week, I covered having your strategy for the announce all set. And this week, we are covering something that could be nailed down either before you announce or after, but as long as it's within a reasonable time. And that is all the back-end logistics. Now, that includes any sound and tech requirements, any backline gear if needed, any hospitality plans for artists, water, snacks, any green room stuff, and load in set times and a rough run of show. It is best to get as much as you can done before announcing, mostly because 6 to 8 weeks can go by super fast and you don't want to forget to have all of these things figured out well in advance of the show. A good venue, like a venue that I work with in Phoenix, Last Exit Live, does a great job of sending out run of show requirements and any other sound requirements out to all of the artists involved, and all venues should do that. When I did radio station fundraisers, I did try to get it done before announcing, mostly because I personally didn't have the gear to handle backlining and I needed to reach out to my music community for help in that. But I always made sure I had set times ready and also plenty of snacks and water and drinks for the green room. I mean, what sort of scene mom would I be if I didn't? I do have a blog written that covers the past 6 shows of these tips, which I will link to in the show notes. Announcing an event, it's not rocket science, but it does require thoughtful preparation. The checklist helps you cover all of those bases so that when you finally hit post and announce, you are setting yourself and your event up for success. And I hope that it's helped give you some direction when you're getting ready to announce your next event. As always, if you want to chat more about your event, marketing, promoting your music or brand, you can always schedule a consultation with me at dannycutler.com. And you can also subscribe to the newsletter for more and the private Facebook group as well. And yes, I'll have all the links in the show notes.
I wake up, I see myself, I get sad. I go to bed, I wake up, I see myself, I get sad. My weird gross body never learned how to float, so I sit on the shore and never die. But that's all about to change. Yeah, right. I wake up, I see myself, I get sad. I go to bed. My weird gross body never learned how to chill, so I got in some pills. I think it did I make a big mistake? Oh yeah! I wake up, I see myself, I get sad. I go to bed, I wake up, I see myself, I get sad. And then I dance to the rhythmic sounds of the dropping of toys from the shelves in my bedroom, making waves, but I cannot drown like I'm Neptune. I'm raising the roof in my head. Dude, I'm upset. Kudos to Karen, she can't believe I'm in my 30s and still wanna rap and sing, but she ain't kicking me out. Yeah, come from in everyone's doubts. Maybe that's why I wake up, I see myself, I get sad. I go to bed, I wake up, I see myself, I get
and go to bed.
I wake up, I see myself, I get sad. I go to bed, I wake up, I see myself, I get sad. I go to bed, I wake up, I see myself, I get sad. I go to bed, I wake up, I see myself, now I'm sad.
That that was Phoenix band Snailmate with My Weird Gross Body. I love those two so much and I really miss them. I have always had great times with them in the studio and at their shows, and they also have a fun series, I'm not sure if they're still doing it, called Hot Sauce for Blood, and a song of the same name. And the hot sauce is good. Oh my goodness. They tour all the time, all over the world. So I do hope to catch them if they pass through New England again, because I need some hugs big time. Scene Mom says, now it's time for some good news. So do you ever wonder what happens to iconic movie props after the cameras are done? Well, it turns out some of them just disappear. A new documentary is trying to crack the case of one of the most famous missing items in cinematic history, the original DeLorean time machine from Back to the Future. Yes, according to a recent report from Gizmodo, the actual hero car, the DeLorean DMC-12, used for the majority of the filming in the first Back to the Future movie, has gone missing. It's not just any prop, it is the most recognizable vehicle in film history, and of course was the centerpiece of the trilogy. For years, fans and collectors have been wondering about where it is. Now this new documentary titled The Missing DeLorean is on a mission to track it down. It's not just about the numerous replicas or other DeLoreans used for specific shots in the sequels. It is about the very first original car that Michael J. Fox's Marty McFly piloted back to 1955. The documentary aims to explore the car's journey after production wrapped, delving into rumors, stories, and potential reasons for the disappearance. It highlights the mysterious fate of movie memorabilia as a whole. And it's a fascinating look into film history, prop preservation, and the legacy of a beloved franchise. So, if you just love a good mystery or a fan of Back to the Future like I am, it's definitely a doc to keep your eye out for. Will they find it? Well, we just have to watch and see, I guess, right? I am very curious about that. I can't wait to see it. And that is it for episode number 61. Links to all the music and news heard this week will definitely be in the show notes. And if you have any feedback, news to share, anything at all, even your music, you can get in touch on social media. I am Scene Mom Says on Facebook and D Cutler AZ everywhere else. And you can email scenemomsays@gmail.com. And if you like what you hear, please share. I would be so appreciative. I'm also an independent artist and I'm trying to grow the show. Thanks as always for listening, everybody, and you will hear me again soon. You've been listening to the Scene Mom Says podcast. Intro, outro music is Look Good for the Radio by Fairy Bones. Learn more about Danny and the show at DannyCutler.com.